Hi, welcome to today's video, and I want to do a quick video on just marking the occasion of summer solstice, which is June the 21st, longest day of the year, and what it means in astrology and also for people's psychology and their emotions. Okay, so in astronomically speaking, so what the planets and the heavens are doing at the moment is that the sun is actually the furthest point away from the earth, okay, which is quite ironic because June the 21st marks the beginning of summer, okay, so it's normally the hottest part of the year. It's to do with the angle of the sun on the sun's rays on the earth at this time, which gives us the most heat. Okay, so whilst we're at the furthest point, also it creates the longest day because of the tilt of the earth. So astrologically speaking and psychologically for people, what this means is the energy of today can be quite strong. Okay, it's a good day for starting something new. If you've got anything that you want to start or anything you're planning on starting, get the plans done today, get started today if you can, okay, because there's good energy, strong energy. But if you've already started something, today is a good day to just realign and reassess if you're on target with what you're trying to achieve or what you already started. So when a rocket goes to the moon, like, it has its initial navigation points for taking off, and then once it's in space, it does something called a mid-course correction, which is it reassesses where it needs to go. Okay, so at that point, to make sure it's on target, it needs to just reassess where it's at. Is it on target? Great. If it is, and if it's not, we just readjust it and then just make sure that it is on target. And so for us, as for people who've set targets in our life, maybe last year or today, or previously, today is a good day to have that mid-course correction. Okay, are you on target with something you wanted to achieve? If you are, great, and if you're not, just taking time out, just having time out for yourself to really process, think through, write your ideas down, what's gone right, what hasn't gone right, where you could tweak things, and just taking some time out, meditation time perhaps, just to really get in tune with yourself again and where you're headed. Okay, the other part of this with the solstice energy is about patience and trusting in what you're doing is going to work out, okay, and believing in yourself. At this point in time as well, just to let you know, so the moon is in the Leo energy as well, so that energy is quite expressive, it's quite passionate. There's also the archetypal energy of Mars and Lilith, which is quite an empowering, doing things for yourself type energy. Okay, when them two are together, it can be quite a passionate time, and you can feel quite like you're standing by yourself doing something sometimes, and to follow that through, just to stick to your guns basically. Okay, so taking on board all of those energies that are going on at the minute, okay, make use of that. Start something if you're looking to start something, mid-course correct if you need to do that, but whatever you do, take time out to do it. But today is a great time to start that. For those people who know me and I haven't heard me talking about astrology before in this way, this is something that I use in my therapy. I use it sometimes when I'm trying to get to understand what's happened in someone's early life, what's happening in someone's life in general, how they're affected by different energies. I will go through these in other videos and explain a bit more in depth how these work. This is not for today, but basically you can also use it with people with synastry, like with different energies of people working together, and to understand how to better get on with people as well. When I was in my 20s, I moved area completely. I didn't know anybody there. I hadn't, I'd only started working there, and because I hadn't gone to school there, I hadn't got any friends there that I've grown up with. It's quite an isolated time. The people I was working with, they're great, but we were just at different stages in our life. There's people settling down with families, whereas I was just starting my journey in life. And I found that I spent a lot of time people watching because I always enjoyed trying to help people, always enjoyed I've gone through a lot of difficult issues in my own life and things, both stuff that I'd done myself or stuff that happened to me. Always seemed to be in the wrong place at the wrong time, so I had to learn to work with those energies. But one thing I did notice when people watching and studying my own reactions to things was how I seem to feel different with the different stages of the moon. So when it was like, because I'm a Virgo sun sign, which means I can be quite engineered in my thinking. You know, I need to be precise, I need to know details, but my moon was, when I was born, was in Scorpio, which means I can be quite deep, can be quite intense, you know, and that sums up the way I am. It can be, you know, I love looking at things in detail, in depth, and get the intensity of them. And so I found this with the moon cycle, that when the moon was in full moon, I was more connected to the Scorpio deep feeling side, and when it went past that point to where the light of the moon is on a different side, and it's almost like going into darkness on the waning side where the energy is going down a bit, I was more in my thoughts. What I tend to do is go through an issue where I would experience a problem or see a problem that's going on with somebody else. I'd feel it, I'd connect to it, and then as I'd go through the other side of it where the moon would switch to a different phase, then I'll start thinking about it more and engineering how I could work out problems or solutions to that particular problem, whether it was something I was going through or something somebody else was going through. And that sort of formed the basis of how I started to become interested in therapy, and how I went about looking at and trying to study and understand people. And then star signs and all that stuff came, and astrology came further along as the more different type of jobs I did, and seeing how different star signs energies played out, not just based on your sun sign either, which is just, you know, what you say all Virgos are experiencing this in the world based on, you know, what it says in an article in a newspaper, for example. That doesn't give you a complete overhaul of everything that's going on. But this is just the basic how I start. I'll explain this in other videos. So for people who are watching this and who want to understand or learn to understand more about themselves, then I will share some other videos on what you can look for, and things I've learned along the way, not just through studying myself, but through studying other people and working with people in therapy too. So I hope you find this useful. Take use of the solstice energy, start something if you want to start something, mid-course correct if that's where you're at and you need to realign with your goals. Whatever you do, have fun, enjoy the longest day, and I'll see you in the next video.